That's fine. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Project Eyon, my in-the-works tabletop RPG. I'm joined once again by my players here, and we are in Arc 2, Episode 4 or 5. I'm not exactly sure. We'll figure that out later, though. In our last session, we had made some progress in gathering the forces together. There was some suspicion from Gemini that the dragon they had seen back in Circa might be hunting them. He had a hunch that perhaps it was drawn to Terran, given that it was seemingly filled with Terran eyes. But that has so far proven not to be the case. So far. Everybody went out to help and gather everybody together for this coming confrontation, and it was discovered by Kasha that her tribe had been attacked and that their village had been burned to the ground, leaving nothing but cinders. But they had found the remaining two masters from the Scolo Arcano, Duranka and Medley, and brought them back to the small fishing village where they had docked. While they were there, they were discussing the fate of their tribe, and it's believed that they are, at this point, probably still alive, but they need to be able to find the White Fang to save them. So, going on the little bit of information that they had about the White Fang, that is, that they tended to attack more in blizzards, they laid a trap, which almost backfired on them. They were attacked in the middle of the blizzard by 6 shadowy figures that were seemingly like phasing in and out of existence. And they managed to capture 2 of them, in fact. That's where we left off, actually. I don't think I forgot anything too major. What do you guys think? Anything I forgot?
Well, we basically captured 2, and Balang, got to take care of them.
Yes.
That's basically the last thing.
I think I only did one, though. I can't remember. I did the one that wasn't burnt to hell. I don't know what happened to the other one.
Yeah, we were gonna interrogate it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we can start out with that, actually.
Alright.
Okay. So, Valan, you told your party that you wanted some time alone with this creature, right? To try and get some information out of it?
That's pretty accurate.
Okay. Alright. How are you restraining it, or otherwise trying to, make sure it doesn't, run away from you?
Hey, I got you. So basically, remembering from where we left off, the first thing, let me see, because I think I told everybody that I wanted to do it alone. I can't remember how it was tied up in the first place, though. Does anybody remember exactly how it was captured?
Kasha had put it to sleep, with shadow magic. The other one had fallen unconscious from the traumatic burn that Marcus had inflicted upon it.
I got you. So let's see. Thinking that it wouldn't really be possible to tie it up, because even if I did tie it up, once it woke up, it might be able to phase out of it. But I guess while it's asleep, I'm gonna ask Gemini to help me carry it inside one of the buildings where I can be alone for the interrogation.
Okay.
Hey, yo, help me pick this big motherfucker up real quick.
Absolutely. Mr. Puppet,
Alright.
go ahead, help us out.
Flexes his woody muscles.
You already know.
It's not quite rock solid.
He's holding a tail.
Something like that. Close enough.
That's right, they do have tails.
And so I'd be planning, Valan looks around and I guess he's looking for a building that's kind of private, maybe an outhouse sort of thing. No windows. Is there anything like that around?
Yes. There are buildings that have no windows, really. there's still a little bit of light coming in because it's not a completely like solid building. There's like cracks and stuff in it where light streams in, but it's pretty private.
Pretty solid. All right. Me and Mr. Puppet are gonna carry him inside there. And thanks, Mr. Puppet. Couldn't have did it without you. I'll talk to you guys in a few when I have more information.
Alright.
Alright.
Done that.
Just to just to clarify, are you bringing in like both of these things or just one or?
I'm just bringing the one that's not burnt because I think Jim and I was saying something about eating it. I don't know what that plan's looking like, but I'll let him have it, I guess. It's a little
Mr.
bit
Puppet
weird
already
to
ate
eat whale, when
What-
there's a
what?
whale in our team, but
What are you talking about? People have been eating whales for generations.
it's just
Whale,
things a bit
whale, whale.
insensitive.
Well, that's a mouthful.
Well, but yeah, so the next thing I'm gonna do. Alright, so I have a quick question about the sense desire thing that I got going. Is there a way that I could use that, not necessarily passively, but instead of like one target, could I use it to kind of sense if there is, I guess, like a presence in the vicinity? Like, I don't know, detect the mental.
Yeah, you could
Waves of other
you could use shadow magic to see if there was any one or thing like in the immediate vicinity that you might not be expecting. Yes,
Alright, got you.
I would
let me
say
try-
that would be a difficulty 10. I would say.
Got you. Let me see. What might I add to that one?
For spellcasting, it would be attunement, willpower, mysticism.
Power. Just got you.
And
Is
the
the roller
spells
working today?
I hope so. And the spell's base cost, is always half the difficulty.
Got you. Let's do D10. And a little bit extra because I'm throwing a little magic in it. Not too much. Actually, you know what? I actually do not want to get caught.
I got the magic in me.
We ain't doing that today.
So yeah, when he gets into the building, he takes the time to like silence his mind, and let the shadow expand to see if he could, sense the presence of anybody nearby.
Alrighty. Go ahead and give me a roll.
Oh, I did.
Oh, it's in the dice rolls channel. My bad.
No
Oh,
problem.
damn, that's a good roll, dude. Okay, yeah. You clear your mind, and you sort of listen through the shadows for any sort of like unfamiliar presence, and thankfully, you can pick up on like a few of your allies, like outside of the building and stuff. But besides you and this organ, there's nobody else, and your friend that you have now. There's nobody else in this building.
Got you. Next, I'm just go ahead and roll while I'm explaining. But I'm then going to once Valon is satisfied that nobody is around, he turns back to the task at hand, looking at the unconscious person in the shed with them. And he comes up with an idea. If I can't hold him here physically, I'll probably have to use magic and try that brainwash trick that I did on the ship that time.
Yes. Valon's oldest trick in the book. When in doubt,
I would say
brainwash
the
it
most
out.
reliable. And this guy's pretty strong, so hey, we're blowing mana today. It ain't no tomorrow. Didn't even need to. Why am I rolling so well today? What's going
It's
on?
because you're using resources, man. When you use resources, you roll. Okay, so
so I'm gonna try to Alright, so when I say brainwash, the thing that I'm trying to do specifically is just get him to stay completely asleep and unaware through the process.
Okay. So you're basically trying to reinforce Kasha's spell.
Yeah, just to make sure that nothing happens during the time span of the ritual.
Okay. So basically you've locked down his mind, and he's in, like, even deeper of a coma now.
Alright. Now this is where I take the holy hand of Jesus Christ and place it on his forehead. And basically what I'm going to do, as you already know, well, actually, is this something I should type or is it something I should say out loud? I'm going to type it, not necessarily so you don't know, but also exactly for that reason.
Oh, I know what you're gonna do.
Well, yeah, I know you know. They don't know.
But do they know that I know that you know that I don't know?
Don't know. Oh, that's a great
I don't
question.
Secrets don't make friends.
True.
Okay.
Or do they?
Okay, hold on. I'm typing it.
Yep, go ahead and do that.
Alright, and what would I don't think we actually specified what the process is.
Basically, since they are unconscious, you won't even have to make a roll against him. He can't resist, and it's going to take you in about an hour to do it.
Alright, word. So yeah, I just set myself to the ritual.
Okay.
And I guess when I'm done,
1 second.
Before
Before that, what are you guys doing outside? What is the rest of the party doing while Valon is interrogating? Oh, I forgot to mention something. And this was actually very important, and I'm very sorry that I forgot to mention this, because this is actually a very important plot point. Perhaps you hadn't thought to check, but Torgwin, when you go to check up on Pius and Torgwin, on Pius and Umbris, they're gone. Like, they're not where you left them. At all.
Great. Just great.
How does the party react to this?
I'm looking for them.
Yeah, okay, if we all see that, yeah.
Okay.
Then
You,
I don't have to grab them.
Okay. You perhaps inform the rest of the party that,
Yeah.
they're missing where, you don't know where they're going, where they went. But, you probably already have a hunch about what happened. But just in
Yeah.
case, you search the town and you don't find any trace of them. They've just vanished. Okay. Kasha, you investigate the area where they were. And, well, this building wasn't exactly the most secure place to begin with. So, it seems entirely likely that they were just taken while you guys were under attack. Also, you don't have to type things out necessarily. You can talk if you want.
I blame Torgwin.
Well, that's mean.
Was that was that in character?
No, I don't think he was being serious.
It was in character. Torgwin, how dare you? You let the masters get taken by the evil whale vampire monsters. Good job. What's Kasha gonna do now?
Wow. Funny you should ask.
1 second, Kasha. Your voice is
Lagging.
cutting. You're lagging. Your voice is like
Lagging
cutting
really
in and
hard.
out.
Wait, hold up. As we wait for this, Valon is currently pulling out the brain of the other whale, right?
Yeah, and you guys still have the burned one outside as well.
Is it dead?
Yeah. Last you checked, it was not dead. You're just
I'm gonna kill it.
unconscious. You're just gonna finish it off.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill it.
Okay. As you go over, how do you finish it off exactly? Do you just like slit
I'm
its
gonna pull
throat?
out I'm pulling my rapier and stab it in the heart. No, I'm gonna shoot it in the head.
Just in case.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot it right in the head.
Little did he know, the game was rigged from the start.
Oh god.
Anyways, alright. You pull out your weapon, and you pierce through its heart. It releases a... as you do so, its eyes like momentarily like flicking open. And then you notice something strange. And you've kind of seen this happen before with like the demons back in Circa. You notice its body just sort of evaporates away.
What?
It just like turns into these like particles of like shadow almost, and then it just evaporates
Does
away.
the meat that Mr. Puppet had disappear too?
You would imagine, yes.
Son of a... I was gonna eat that.
You all see this happen, by the way. Except for Valan, of course. Valan is still inside the
I'm
shack
not
at
gonna
this
tell him
point.
what happened. I'm telling him I ate it.
The whole thing?
Valon, I ate it.
No.
Me and Mr. Puppet ate it. That's what happened.
Okay. Anyways, Kasha is still missing. What the heck?
She was taken.
Okay, I'm messaging her real quick, seeing what's going on. One sec. Okay, so anyways, yeah, you all see this happen, and Duranka comments on this and she says, "How strange. I've never seen a physical creature do such a thing. I've seen outsiders vanish like that, but I've never seen things made of matter disappear like that.
Has Jim and I ever seen anything like this ever before?
Yes, like I said, you've seen the demons back in Circa, like when you killed one of them, or when it like went wherever they go. It did exactly the same thing.
Interesting. I'm gonna speak to the master. Have the shark fin. I'm sure you've killed some of these before.
White Fang.
That's what you know what I meant, lady. The White Fang. When you have done battle with them before, do they die like this?
Well, we do not know. They're
You've never killed them in your whole existence. 'Cause I'm sure they've been plaguing you for years, right?
They have been a menace, yes. But usually when they attack decisively, and there are no survivors. Occasionally one will come back, but they are usually not in their right minds after.
Oh shit. I'm gonna just ask this. Have you ever seen a white fin that looks like one of your kin? That makes sense?
She looks to you for a moment. Never. Whatever sort of rituals they perform, they twist them into this vile form.
So you're saying that these could have been relatives of yours from your clan?
As you like bring this idea up, she looks to you for a moment with a sort of like serious look upon her face. Her eyes sort of like what's the word I'm looking for? Scrunched, I guess, in concentration. She says, "No Darkfin would lower themselves to such depravity. I doubt any Orcan other than them would do such a thing. But I can't deny the possibility."
What I'm suggesting is your people get captured, they go through the ritual, and then they turn into what that was.
It is a possibility, yes.
Interesting. Okay. Fantastic. If no one else is doing anything, I would like to try to use that air magic that I stored up.
Okay.
If no one else wants to do anything. Because I mean, we're just waiting on Valon now.
Okay, 1 second. I get a message. Okay. Kasha, you there?
Actually,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
That seems to be clear now.
I'm having to use cell phone data because Wi-Fi is.
Okay. Gotcha. That's unfortunate, but it happens. So, Gemini, you know that, according to what Medley told you, like, having to go into one of the Aeon's realms for whatever sort of trial that they want you to undergo, that will probably take some time.
Gotcha.
Out of character, we can do that off screen, potentially.
Sounds good to me. Alright, then I will just stand by until we get Valon's information.
Okay. Valon. Yeah, what's up,
Plus,
Torben?
can I try to, or is it possible with either shadow or light magic to, I mean, maybe sense the paths that the people that took Umbris or Pius could have taken?
So you want to try to, like, trace their steps?
Yeah, basically.
With Radiant or with...
I think.
I'm trying to think here. Give me 1 second. You could try to use Radiant magic to reveal some kind of a truth concerning where they went, perhaps.
Yeah.
Two truths and a lie.
If that is something I could do from your perspective, yeah.
I would say
like to try
that would
that.
be fine. Yeah. You may not know, like, what to do with the information, but, like, you can give it a shot.
Okay, so they just vanished. I'm still trying. Fuck it.
Okay, 1 second. I need to open up something here real quick. Okay. I'm going to say that it's going to be a difficulty 14.
Okay. Then dice rolls. Roll.
Gotta keep rolling,
Ten.
rolling, rolling,
Plus-
rolling.
Plus attunement, willpower, mysticism.
Yep.
Plus 1 plus. And I kinda wanna get done.
Damn. I mean, you did it. That is not actually a critical fail.
It's not even a crit. I love it.
But I mean, yeah, you did it. So you're in the room and you're just trying to figure out, like, where they could have gone. You cast your radiant spell, and as you open your eyes from your concentration, you see, I'm gonna say, footprints on the wooden floor. You follow the footprints outside, but you don't see their tracks. Like, you see, like, the light from where their footprints should be, but you don't see any, like, physical tracks correlating to them. And eventually, the path that you're following vanishes.
Fair enough.
So they don't seem to leave behind any sort of, like, physical
Yeah, tracks.
tracks.
Gotcha. Shitty, but gotcha.
One second, Kosh is having some more technical difficulties. While they're doing that, though. Hey, welcome back, Kasha. Can you try talking real quick? Kasha? Hello.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Okay. Do you have push to talk on?
No.
Huh. Maybe it's just really laggy then. I don't know. I can hear you clearly though, so I mean, I guess that's important. Alright. Well, anyways, going onward then, Valan, you perform your ritual successfully. What do you do now?
I am going to use this newfound product of mine and basically use it to temporarily become that person, gain all their memories, that sort of thing.
Okay, 1 second, I have to message you something as well.
Alright.
Okay.
Oh, alright. I actually, that was actually my next step. Because I didn't see the stuff that they did, basically what I'm going to try to do, let's see, is there, I could try to burn it. That might take a while. Alright. Actually, give me like 10 seconds to think about that one.
Okay.
So after I use the item, am I able to, I guess, get the memories
Yes.
and stuff that I need? Alright, I'm going to put it in my, the bag that I keep on me, for the other ones.
Okay.
And I'm going to, go back outside and see if anybody is, around or anything.
Okay, 1 second. I do want to describe a memory, a few of the memories that you see.
Alright.
Okay, so as you do your thing and memories flood into your consciousness, you suddenly find yourself back in your village, and you notice something interesting about this. You're not in like anywhere that you particularly like recognize. It seems reminiscent of Farso, except that there's this strange sort of wind blowing through the area, like everywhere, but it's not like a blizzard or even like a normal wind. There's also like mana just everywhere throughout this area, just everywhere. You're kneeling before your chieftain. It's this, even by Orcan standards, this chieftain is like huge. He easily stands at like 8 or 9 feet tall. For reference, you're probably like 7.5 foot. All right, and he stands over you and he says to you, "You will go and you will investigate these intruders upon our land. Deal with them in whatever fashion you may, as per the pact that we have formed. Do you understand your duty?" And you look up towards your chieftain, and you see this just terrible visage, these fangs that like barely seem to fit into his mouth, and you say, "Yes, chief, I understand." And you and your fellow hunters begin to take off towards presumably where you guys were being attacked from. I'm trying to think here. Anything else that would be important? I can't really think of anything else. Did you have any questions, Valan, about other things?
Yeah. Do I know where their base is now, or how to get to it?
Okay. You scour through your newly found memories, and you are trying to just remember the path that you took. I'm gonna say that you pass by the mountain and that it's pretty far inland, but you're traveling at very high speeds as well. As you're passing by the mountain, there's like this big old mountain if you look on the map of the area. You look towards it and you notice that there's this sort of like blue beam just like coming down from the sky and like meeting at the mountain's peak. But when you look towards that area, like, if you were to look towards that area right now, you would not be able to see that beam.
Got you. And what does their city or town looks like?
It's pretty well fortified.
Right.
It has walls around it, like wooden walls, I'll say. And there's a good few of them. Like, it's a fairly large tribe, I'll say. They have prisoners. You know they have prisoners, of course. And I think that's about the extent of what I can describe, unless you have other questions.
One last one, just to keep the story rolling. Do they have anything of particular magical power or value?
You're not sure exactly, but the chieftain is pretty adept in water magic, so he might have something. You know that for sure.
Got you. Alright. So yeah, I guess after that I'm going to check outside the door to see if there's anyone around in the vicinity.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people around. A lot of people.
Alright.
To give you an idea, like there's all of those Terran that were there before. There's like your comrades probably like milling about outside. There's a lot of people.
Gotcha. Alright, if describe the area around me physically. Like, is it buildings? Is it woodlands? I guess what's the visual?
Okay. The immediate area is buildings and like some open space. It is like a small village after all. If you go outside of the village for a ways, it is just like empty pretty much. It's just snow. You know that there are woodlands in this area, but you're not sure exactly where they're at.
This is actually going to be kind of difficult. Because I have what I'm thinking of doing, but I have no way of explaining it to the rest of the crew if it happened. But let's see. I have a... that knife would take forever. Yeah, that'll take like another 4 hours. Oh, yeah, simple solution. I am going to warp him into the bag also.
The whole thing?
I mean, technically, it should fit.
Dude, that's gonna be like a bulging ass bag you got. It might break the bag.
The one with the mask and other shit.
Yeah. Like this
Oh, yeah.
to give you an idea, Like, the thing that you created is the size of that Orkin.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, like...
Alright.
You're just gonna walk out of there, and your backpack is gonna be like, whoa, that's pretty big.
Alright, I'm going with, I'm just gonna go with plan A then. To stick with my character being a little bit on the short-sighted side. I'm going to look outside just enough to basically scope out if there's an area maybe around 10 yards or so where there's really no people, you know, no major damage if anything semi-heavy fell from a large distance onto the area.
So you're trying to teleport it outside into an area that's like inconspicuous, kind of?
No, more so that if if a body fell into that area from a high distance, it would not hurt anybody or damage too much property.
Okay. There are some areas where you could like inconspicuously like teleport it.
Oh, it doesn't have to be inconspicuous, just free of people.
Oh yeah,
and property.
yeah. There's places like that.
All right, gotcha. I'm going to look straight up in the air. You know, trying to angle it basically, just making sure that I hit the right area, and I'm just gonna teleport him basically as high as I can, but also so he falls around that area. So.
Okay, so what are you like trying to accomplish exactly? I know you're trying to teleport him into that area, but like what's the goal?
Okay.
I'm trying to like understand.
Oh, I got you. I'm teleporting him into the air above that area so that he falls onto that area and it splatters.
Oh, okay. I mean, you'd have to teleport him up like really high.
I mean, yeah, I feel that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I technically can do it as far as I'm able to see, but I mean, there's physical limitations, so I'm sure I can't do it into space.
No.
Like there would be a certain yeah.
To the moon.
So more or less just high enough that I know that terminal velocity will be achieved, or whatever the fantasy medieval equivalent of that is. And basically the story I'm going with is I'm gonna run to the area after it happens, be like, oh no, he tried to teleport away, but he must have killed himself. I did get the information though.
Are you saying that that's in the same sarcastic tone?
Oh my god. Okay, alright, Valon, here's what I want you to do.
Right.
Go ahead and give me a spellcasting roll.
Alright.
Oh my god. Don't critically fail.
Oh, please critically fail. I want to see what happens then.
I got it.
I'll give you I'll tell you what. If you choose to fail, I will give you experience. Because I would find it funny, and I would also think it would be an interesting story development.
Imagine.
Yeah. That is a hard decision.
Getting bribed to fail, basically.
Not the first time I've done it.
What
Gemini
I
already knows
could
that Valon
do-
can teleport stuff.
Wait, how does Gemini know that?
I've seen you do it.
Teleported me.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
Oh.
Let's see. How about could I just roll the 2d10 naked by itself? No modifiers? Nothing.
In exchange for the experience?
Let chance be chance. I mean, it's probably not a high chance I'm gonna pass at that point.
Hmm.
I mean, no +6, no plus mana.
Okay. If you choose to do it that way, I'll give you 5. But if you choose just to outright fail, I'll give you 15.
50.
15.
Ah. Fucking hell.
Keep in mind, a failure here does not necessarily mean that your spell doesn't go off. It just may not work as the way you intend.
And true.
Lands on one of us, kills us.
I'm gonna take that, bro.
You're gonna, like, just critically... You're gonna choose to fail?
I'm gonna choose whatever happens, happens.
Okay, so you're just gonna
I'll
do
choose
the...
my main mission, so.
Okay. Alright, go ahead and roll the dice then, my man.
Oh my fucking god, dude. Never thought I would see that.
Wait, hold on. If I'm choosing to fail, why am I rolling?
Oh, you're just choosing to, like, just outright fail? Okay then, alright.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
But I'm gonna roll anyway just to see what would have happened.
Okay, I got you.
Nothing.
Okay. You cast your spell, and you intended to make him teleport as far into the sky as you could. Go ahead and grant yourself 15 experience, by the way. And instead of doing that, though, all of a sudden, you're looking up, right? You're thinking, okay, he's going to just, like, fall from the sky any minute, and he's going to splatter on the ground, right? But what happens instead is, like, you hear, like, a bunch of, like, voices on the ground, like, sort of, like, gasping and, like, reacting to something. And you look down, and he's actually at ground level, and there's a bunch of people around him now. Like, you hear some of the Terran, they're asking, what is this? Where did it come from? And, the party and NPCs also become aware of this. How do you guys react to this, Here's what you see, by the way. Here's what you see appear before you. You see this, just like back from in, Circa, you see this faceless man just appear in the middle of the town. But it's not hostile or even like active. It's just standing there, pretty much, menacingly.
Thank you.
It's just standing there?
Yeah.
Oh, Gemini's gonna draw and shoot it in the head then.
You're just gonna like instinctively react and just shoot it in the face.
You said it looks like a faceless man, right?
Yeah. Like one of the things back in
Yeah, I'm
Circa.
shooting it there.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would absolutely shoot it there.
So, instinctively thinking that you're going to be under attack, because you've dealt with these things before, you draw your pistol out and you just, like, dome it right in the head. Just instantly just destroying its head, you know, its lack of a face. It falls over backwards into the snow. And the same sort of black blood begins to, like, ooze out everywhere onto the ground.
I'm gonna collect it.
Valan, you hear in your head your companion, and it says, that didn't quite go to plan, did it?
I'm going to tell him to tell Contra that she can be a real bitch sometimes.
I'll let her know. Okay, so, yeah, the whole party sees this. All your NPCs see this. They probably, like, a bunch of them probably draw their weapons as well. Jonah, he, like, freaks out. He's like, where are the rest of them? As he's, like, looking around, like, for expecting more of these things to, like, come out. And he yells out, be ready, they can come from anywhere!
Well.
Alright, you draw your knife as well?
Yeah, just to fit in with everybody else.
Alright, and you're coming out of the building as well?
Yeah, how I'll explain it, not sure, but, you know, here goes nothing.
Okay. So yeah, what are you guys doing now that you've like seen this? What will you do? What are you guys saying to each other?
Like, what the hell was that?
I'm not sure. After I interrogated the guy, he disappeared. The next thing I know, I just heard people yelling.
Well, I don't know. This thing just showed up, so I domed it so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably for the best. I'm
Right,
not even
ammo.
sure how he escaped. He just, I guess, woke up enough to try to teleport away.
Absolutely, that was freaking weird.
Did it? Like,
What happened to his face, though?
No, it's gone. I blew its head off.
Oh, never mind. I'll retract that last statement.
Oh, you weren't.
Okay. So Chorus, he speaks up and he says, "Ah, does this mean that we were followed from Circa?"
Must be.
that would be odd.
But
It was-
we
it
don't
was
even
struck
know.
earlier.
We don't even know where these things come from, and it's just one of them, and he just appeared there. Ah, why?
No, we need to really worry about what happened to the white fin that disappeared.
Duranka, she says, that's correct. If he really escaped, he might be returning to his tribe to warn them that we are coming. Were you able to find any information then? She turns towards you, Valon.
I know everything.
Then tell us, where are the White Fang?
I basically tell him the story about how they're, over the hill and through the mountain.
As you recount what you saw in your scouring of the memories, Kasha, you're reminded of when you first began your journey to become a shaman, and instantly you recognize what Valon is describing. He's describing the ether, right? That is a sort of like a realm between mana and matter. It's very hard to access, and you have no idea how the White Fang would even be able to get there normally, let alone reside there semi-permanently. The only way that you were able to on your journey was to go into a deep sort of meditation, and that was only projecting yourself in there, not actually physically going there. Kasha. How do you react to this revelation?
She just sits there all kind of quiet and just says nothing for right now. She's just trying to figure out what her next step's going to be.
Gotcha. In that case, here's what I'll say. Duranka, she replies to you, and she says, I know of the location you speak of, but how they would be able to be there physically is beyond my understanding. The location you're describing, the Aether, that is... You're aware, I'm sure, that the Aeons have their realms of mana, right? And we have our realm of matter. Well, there is a realm between these two realms, somewhat solid and somewhat not. The ether. It's sort of a transitionary realm. How interesting. That would explain how they've been able to avoid being wiped out all of these years. But that also puts a damper in our plans. Jonah, he speaks up and he says, so, how are we supposed to get there then? What do we have to do exactly? Does anybody else in the party say anything at this point?
Maybe is it like Torgwin asked in character, is it possible to analyze the spell that I cast to vanish, or is there a way?
perhaps... I think our best bet would be to rely on our friend that was able to retrieve those memories. Were you able to divine anything as to the nature of their magic, young man?
Let's see. Scanning memories here. Lied. Could you fill me in?
Yes, absolutely I can. So you scour back through those memories, and this is an art that is only known to your tribe. Basically, it's a mix of water and earth magic, and you convert solid matter temporarily into mana, and you can convert it back freely as well. But in order to do that, you would have to have both water and earth magic to be able to do that. But there are other ways to get to where you need to go. You can, and you would know this from your memories, you can project into that area. You can project into the ether. Anybody who knows magic can potentially do that. But only somebody who would know that spell and has those two attunements would be able to do it physically. But, Valan, you wouldn't know this from your memories, but you think that it might be possible, perhaps, for somebody who has those two attunements, or even two separate people, to be able to, like, conjointly cast that spell on another person.
Got you. Do I know if there are any of those, well, outside of the Terran who probably do, is there anybody that I know of in our immediate circle who has one or two, both of those?
I'm trying to think. Who have you seen
Water
cast?
and earth magic?
Yeah.
Are you describing, like, the memories that you saw, or what you've, like, come to understand to them, or are you just, like, is this, like, your internal monologue that I'm describing, basically?
Alright, basically, I'd be telling them the detail, and as I'm telling them the last part, I'd probably be trying to think of a person or two specific people we could use to test the idea.
As you're doing this, Farfel, he speaks up and he says, I have water and earth magic. Yeah, I might be able to cast a spell like that.
I have both as well.
Alright. With two people, we should be able to... Well, maybe it's not enough, but it's enough to start trying.
Duranka, she speaks up and she says, we could perhaps cast this spell on an area that would bring anything in that area into the ether with us, though. Which may not necessarily be a bad thing. Jonah, he speaks up and he asks, okay, that's great and all, but how are we going to get back? Like, after we go there?
We don't. We
I'm
live
going
there.
I'm going to scour my immediate memories to see if if I could maybe get a clue as to how it might work.
Okay. Well, you scout your immediate memories, and you know that. One second, I just had a brain fart. What are you trying to find out again? I apologize.
How you would get back?
You would cast the spell in reverse.
Oh, all right, easy enough.
Then it strikes your mind that these Orkin, not all of them could have had water and earth magic. So how were they doing it, unless they literally all had water and earth magic, which you find to be very unlikely, to say the least.
Yeah, got you.
You scour
yeah, so
you scour through your memories again. I apologize. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I mean, you go ahead. You know it better than I do. So
You scour through your memories again, and there is an artifact. It's a magic item. It's made by some of the people within your tribe, and basically, it's like a mediator. It's able to cast that spell and that spell alone a number of times. That's probably how they were able to like phase in and out rapidly like that.
Got you. Give me a second to think about if I want to tell him that, but should I? I mean, does it seem like something everybody has, or is it like there's a few select number of them?
This artifact is carried primarily by the hunters, or other people who need to go outside and go into the physical world.
Got you. Yeah, I'll go ahead and tell them that then. They have these. Yeah. I'll just tell them that.
It's like
so I think
it's like
if
a
we
little
could,
amulet thing. By the way, that's what it looks like.
What does it look like color-wise, or does it have any symbols on it?
As far as symbols go, it has like a sort of like a wave on it, encircled. Yeah, it's like an encircled wave, so to speak. It's brown in color,
Gotcha.
pretty old looking, made out of wood.
All right, interesting. So I'll tell them that, and I'll ask them if they saw anything like that on the other guy that we managed to capture.
Now that you think back, a few of you probably did see something like that. And Gemini, I'll go with you specifically. When you killed that other Orcan, when you finished him off as he was laying there on the ground, you do remember seeing an amulet like that. But when he died and evaporated, the amulet evaporated away with him.
Dang. I'd have took it if I'd have seen it earlier.
Well,
I
when
tell the
Gemini tells them that, Valon looks over to the other body that just got shot in the face. Is it still there, or has it also dematerialized?
It is still there. It does not seem to be affected by that, and the belongings of that Orcan are still on it.
Alright. I'm gonna run over to it and start patting it down to see if I could find one.
Okay. You do so, and you immediately find the amulet.
Alright. Taking it back to the group. I'll give it to Gemini and say I don't really have this magic. Even if you don't need to be a user to use it, I think it'll be safer to give it to somebody who naturally can open the portals to try to figure it out.
Seems then, Captain, that you or I are going to have to be the one to hold on to that thing, Farfel says.
I think I'll hang on to it, Farfel.
Fair enough. That's what you wish.
Yes, it is.
So now that we have the amulet, what's next? Are we perhaps going to try and teleport a group into this ether? Are we going to maybe open a doorway of sorts into it? How will we access it in mass?
The objective to get into the ether is what? What are we going to do once we get there?
I would imagine we were going to find this other Trivorcan, right? Wasn't that the whole idea?
It was, but I was just making sure that... What makes us... Are we sure that the Orcan are going to be in the ether?
1 second. Kasha, what were you saying?
Valon, are you sure the Orcan are going to be in the ether?
From what I was able to gather from his memories, I'm pretty sure that they're either going to be in it, or that's going to be the way to get to it. Because it sort of feels like maybe a ether type place, but I feel like there's a solid material place that actually exists there. So I feel like there's like when I saw it through his memories, there was a whole society of people. It wasn't just a few hunters. It was a whole town with fortification, guards, the whole nine.
Okay. And do we all want to go?
Well, if it's a whole town, there are a lot of them. Probably should all go.
The thing is, I can perfectly disguise myself as one, and I could potentially do the same for you guys, but that would require us to capture alive an equal number of people.
That is easier said than done.
Exactly what I was thinking.
It's almost
You
suicide just to
can-
think about that.
As you say this, I'm gonna say who would reply to you? I'm gonna say that Doranka looks over to you. You can disguise yourself as one of them. How? Shadow magic?
Something like that.
Well, if it's a shadow spell, you should be able to just cast that on any of us, potentially.
Well, the problem is, it's a bit of shadow magic and a bit of a, how should I say, hometown magic. Something that, requires a piece of what you're trying to turn yourself into. And it's also,
A sacrament.
ahead.
A sacrament.
basically, in order to make a disguise that's truly perfect.
That does seem pretty advanced. Too bad we didn't keep one of them around.
Yeah, well, if we had the other one, we could have built you a pretty good disguise. I mean, you would have probably still been burnt, but you know, would it look like one?
So then, our objective is to go there, attack this village, and rescue the dark fin that remain there. Hopefully we will not be too late then.
Actually, when you say all that, it does sound kind of suicidal. So are there any alternative plans to basically running in there and improvising it?
Well, we could still sneak there, free all the prisoners, but that seems like more suicide than this. Because they will still come back. We have
Indeed,
the same problem again.
if anyone were to be caught sneaking into that village, well, I wouldn't envy their fate, let's say that much.
Why don't we just rally the Terran and just march an entire army of 2,000?
I
True.
think that would be wise, but it might prove difficult to transport such a large number into there. And then there's the question of
Well-
getting out.
Valon mentioned that it was over the mountain. These are stone people. They don't really feel cold. So, what if they just marched there? We went in, did a distractionary battle. We fought with them a little bit, made them put up some defenses, and then when our reinforcements arrive, we overtake the village.
Alright, that's a pretty good plan. Let me see if I can find anything in his memories to see if there's how they get their power, like what do they get it from specifically. Maybe if they have some type of centralized magic system or something. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking for, but if we could find a way to potentially weaken them before the battle, that'll definitely give us some type of upper hand going into it.
Okay. You think back to weaknesses of the tribe. And one thing that jumps to mind, and that makes a lot of sense now that you put the pieces together based off of what you know, they are severely weak to fire. Like, they fear fire. To the point where they don't even have fire in their village, in fact.
It seems that they have some type of aversion to fire.
That makes sense.
Well, yeah, as we kind of learned earlier. Is there anyone with that type of magic in the group?
Yes, with Marcus.
I know just the guy, Marcus.
Marcus,
All right.
how do you react to this revelation that your magic will be
Well,
extremely
I
useful?
reacted quicker, but I had to unmute myself. I'd say, yeah, I do fire.
All right.
Y'all saw me burn that thing. Whatever.
Well, yeah,
We did.
definitely remember that.
Need
Uh,
Jonah
legendary-
Jonah speaks up as well, and he says, "I'm not as good as Marcus as this sort of thing, but I can use a bit of fire magic myself. If you remember back in Circa."
all right. Well, that'll
I'm not
work
all
then.
that special at fire, but I can do it.
I mean, that's more than good enough in this case, to be honest with you. It seems that their weakness to fire would just give us so much of an upper hand that just having one or two people that does it should really lend itself well to this battle. But Gemini, do you remember if there were any Terran with
Fire,
that
I do.
ability?
Battles, I'm not so sure about.
Nah, more like the 1-to-1, getting in, getting out, free the prisoners. The action scenes, not the battle stuff.
Well,
As far as Terran that have magical abilities, we do recall that the Terran divided themselves for us, and which ones could use magic, which one could use what specific types of magic. I believe the ratio. One moment.
It's pretty evenly split. There would be, I would say, like 100 plus or minus 20, about that, who could use fire magic as one of their types. At least one of their types.
Perfect. Okay.
Alright. We definitely got to keep those people in the front. Does anybody have any ideas for something a little bit more large scale than single people? Maybe a way to make this magic a bit more effective?
Oil. We can oil them down so the fire ignites faster.
Yeah. Alright.
You know,
let's
Cap.
see
down
what we
to
you-
got.
Earth magic then.
You know, Captain, this is an old fishing village. Perhaps there's some oil stored around here somewhere that we might be able to make use of.
Excellent.
That's
Scour
that's Farfel
the,
speaking.
That's who?
Farfel.
Excellent, Farfa. Let's I'll ask some of the Terran to scour around the rooms and see if we can find the storage of fish oil.
They go ahead. My bad, Jordan. Go ahead. My bad.
Can our Earth magic caster not conjure or oil, I suppose? Basically change the ground. At least
That would be possible, yes, but it would require them to cast the spell and have the mana to cast it and be successful at that. When you could just carry the oil with you, it might be a better idea, potentially.
well, we could cover a bigger ground, I suppose.
True.
Well, it's up for decision. You guys here?
That's an excellent idea. I might be able to, if me and Marcus team up, maybe I can change the earth into oil and have him blast it once I douse the enemy.
Valan, you see Valan, while you guys were having the conversation for the past few minutes, Valan has kind of grown quieter, and he decides to kind of inject or voice an objection. Guys, I have a question. I'm not exactly the battle plan type person. I've never been in the military. I don't even know if I've been in too many real fights, but should we just go in there with all our troops without really knowing what the layout is or really seeing what we're up against? I mean, I have my memories, but it's, I can't exactly Oh wait, yeah, I can. I can transfer it picture to picture. He kind of, well, saying that out loud. It's like I just remembered that I have shadow magic. Lied. Quick question.
What's up?
Could I? So I think the last game you said that if you can use your shadow magic to like project, I guess, pictures or words or stuff into other people's minds.
Absolutely, yeah. You can transfer information like that.
All right. I'm not exactly sure how to present this idea to you guys without it sounding weird, but I'm going to try to project the memories into your mind so that you can get a proper idea of what we're going up against.
Okay.
Excellent.
Go ahead and give us a roll, Valon, and you're looking for at least a 12.
Alright.
It's a difficulty 12 to cast.
I'll like just copy paste this or something. Alright, that was more than I needed. Alright.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you project the memories that you want to give them specifically to the group around you. That would be your companions and your NPC companions. And all of you sort of receive these like flashes in your head of the layout of the village. What you see is it is encircled around. There are several sort of like rudimentary gates. They're made of wood, so they're not impenetrable by any stretch of the imagination. And they can be risen from a device inside, like a sort of like a pulley, I guess, almost, or something of that nature.
We can burrow underground
Yeah.
and pull the pulley.
Yeah, burrowing underground would also be an option. Yes.
Alright, so burrowing, I guess any other ideas? Is anybody here able to, well, I have air magic, so I could try to use that to spread the oil around. Do you know if there's, I guess, anybody else who has that?
Quite a bit of the Terran also have earth and fire. So, I mean, we could literally just go in there and just freaking douse the entire battlefield and just, or even make a damn fire arena around the village.
Alright,
Literally,
we could
we
also...
have them march underneath the
How
village.
about a fire tornado?
A fire tornado.
Tornado, that would be
Yeah.
amazing. Yes. Alright.
Well, we still should kill the prisoners, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, we should probably... Let me go through the memories again. Is there a place specifically they keep the prisoners?
Yes. There is a hut towards the center of the village. For a rescue mission, that's like the worst possible scenario in the center of the village. That strikes you as really bad. And you will have to be careful if you're going to like torch this place, because you could very likely torch the prisoners. It might be better to try and get the prisoners out first and then torch the village.
Alright, I say all of those things. Any ideas?
I have a suggestion, Duranka says. I think that it might be best for us to encircle the village in flames to ensure that none of the White Fang escape. And then we can enact our plan, perhaps going under the ground towards where the prisoners are, coming up while they are fighting from the outside, and then we can get the prisoners out that way.
Alright, that could work. I just thought of an idea. Since we have Earth people, if we can get to the prisoners and get them underground and out of the city, then we could just torch the whole part above it and not really have to worry about it. Even though it would take a little bit of mana, we have other shadow users here, so I think we should be able to make a portal from the edge of the outer enclosure straight to the center section with the prisoners. Once we get there, the Earth people just go down and outwards.
So then, to clarify, our plan is we will go towards the prisoners first after encircling the town to make sure that none of them escape. Rescue the prisoners first, and then once they are safely out, what we'll do next then is just torch it. Is that right? Just to be absolutely certain about what our plan is.
Torgwin, Gemini, Kasha,
I agree with the plan. Valon, can you teleport barrels
Yeah.
of oil?
Pretty easily. If I can get assistance from other shadow users, much more easy.
That's what I'm talking about. We'll just build a big ass bomb of oil.
That would be, for teleportation, that would be air magic also.
Oh, got you. Yeah, we could just make a big old ball of it in the middle, light it on fire. I'll float in the air menacingly. This world shall know pain.
I'm down.
Jeez. Edgy much?
No, not at all.
Okay,
Glitch.
with that out of the way, you've gotten that. Now the question of getting there. How are you going to get there?
We're gonna walk.
Okay, that's half of the journey, but how are you going to get through the, into the, ether? Are you just going to try to, like,
Oh,
make a
and-
portal?
I'm gonna make a portal.
Alright. Yeah, how are we not going to get detected while we're there if it's like 2,000 plus individuals?
What we could do, potentially, we could have the Terran march to the location in the physical world, and then somebody on that end, in that location, would make a portal, and they would step through only when they arrive there.
Say that one more time.
Okay, what Duranka said, basically, you tell them where the location corresponds in the physical world, they go there in the physical world, and then once they're there, somebody opens up a portal to let them go through. That way they just sort of like appear there.
Perfect.
Alright.
Well, if they won't intercept us there.
Could I potentially just go to the place and then, with some other, I guess, air magic users, create a portal from there to the place we are?
Yeah, you could do that as well. Absolutely. But Torquin did just bring up a good point. Wouldn't they just be able to like potentially intercept you guys before any of that happens? And you think it would and you think like as a group, the closer you are to where they are, the way more dangerous it's going to get.
And we can't conceal our presence all the way. That would take way too much mana.
Yeah. I mean, we could just go as the core group. But once again, you know, making a disguise that works would require us to capture some people somehow.
Chorus speaks up. I am not the most adept at magic, but I can use the element we need. Perhaps myself, you, Valan, and Medley could go as a small group to that location, and then, once we arrive, work together to open a portal.
Yeah, that could work. So that would be Gemini gets us to the place initially, do the ether, we track a little bit further to the gates, and then boom, teleport everybody to the main action center.
Yes, that should work nicely. Ah.
Alright. Anybody got anything else? Any concerns, or is this the plan we're going with?
I think this is the way.
Yeah, this seems to be the best. Or the closest to a real plan we had so far.
Yeah, by far. Alright, which people are going first? Of course, Gemini has to open the portal to get us through the ether, so he's got to be there. Kasha, wait, am I thinking of the right person? Is Kasha the whale?
Yeah.
Kasha is an Orcan, yes.
I gotta make sure. Alright.
This is so beautiful.
Saying I'm fat.
Oh.
No, never. You could never, with that sleek form, you just right through the water. A thing of beauty. One of nature's top predators.
Jesus.
I would never want to offend the whale people.
Oh my goodness. I mean, in lore perspective, Orcan are pretty fucking intimidating. To say the least.
Well, not too
Yeah.
long, that is.
Okay, Farfel says,
Especially a tall-ish, slightly muscular female organ.
Farfel speaks up and says, if we're going to be going and creating a portal from one side of this ether into the other side, it might be wise if either Gemini or myself were to go with you. Just in case it's not possible for some reason. That way we have at least one person on both ends that can create the spell.
Excellent idea.
So then, Captain, who will go, you or me?
You may go.
All
Wait,
right.
go where?
To the group, with the group that's going to make the portal, basically.
Wait, why was that a choice between those two?
Because they're the two people who have water and earth magic together.
So like one person has to stay or something?
Yeah, pretty much. Just in
Gotcha.
case.
I would like to voice an objection for Gemini to be the person who actually goes.
That's fine by me.
I
no
have no
just
issues
don't.
with this, but I would like to know why. Do you not trust me?
Trust is a hard thing to quantify when you're so new to a group.
It's okay. I don't trust him.
Well, at least you're honest with your feelings, Captain.
Absolutely. That's how I became such a great captain.
Well, then I suppose I'll stay here then.
Marcus is sleeping as we decide battle plans.
That's mean. Don't be mean. Okay. In that case,
That's my dog snoring.
Sure. Good morning.
okay.
Marcus is just like, let's fight. Let's go ahead and get to the fighting. I'm ready to set people on fire.
Okay. Anyways, okay. So, Valan, before you take your little expedition to go and cross over to the other side here, you're actually like pulled aside for a moment by one of your companions, Dayan, the woman that has so far kept her like self cloaked. She walks over to you and she says, "May I have a word with you for a moment, then?"
I'm going to say yes, a little confusedly, since we don't really interact often.
Okay. She says, "Come with me for a moment, won't you? Let's talk in private."
As a teenage boy, he is more than enthusiastic to follow her.
This bear in mind, because you may have forgotten, like, she old as hell.
Hey, it's been a tough time out here on this island.
Yikes.
Holy crap. Okay. She
Isn't the whale cutting is. Sorry.
Okay. She takes you over to a nearby building. And once she's inside, she, alright, here's what happens, Valon. Once she's inside, she looks around, around the room that you're in. And then she removes her cloak from the top of her head. And you are very surprised by what you see. I'm going to message what you see. Alright?
Didn't everybody see her already?
No. Well, you did.
Oh.
You did. But I don't know if everybody else remembers. You know what? I'll just say what you see. Valon, as she removes her her hood from her head, you recognize. I'm trying to think here. How do I say this?
It's a hamster.
It's a hamster. I'll just message it to you. I'll just message it to you, Valon. It's a hamster. What the fuck?
Could be.
Maybe.
Oh my
I mean-
god.
Maybe they're worse things, dude.
I messaged you, Valon. Yeah, she removes her hood and it's a hamster. Oh my god.
There are literally all kinds of animal-esque humans in this realm. I would not be surprised.
Okay.
Fucking
House
furry.
people.
As she does that, how she reveals her face to you, how do you react, Valon?
I actually think that I should roll in order to see if I'm able to hold my reaction or not.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. That would be a face roll. Use your face twice.
Alright. There's my face.
Face the problem. Problems face.
Alright, here we go. So yeah, I guess Valon would actually be kind of I guess man, which one? Because I want to say that he'd not act surprised, but that would actually give him away. So he fake acts surprised.
Okay, if
Oh no, because he's actually surprised. All right, I'm trying to think of which. All right, because it's like if he doesn't do anything.
maybe what you could do, right? Since he's like caught off guard by this, like, because I'm imagining this is not something you expected, right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe he just like is stunned in silence, perhaps.
Gotcha.
That could be a completely appropriate reaction.
Yeah, I'd say his eyes widen. You know, he's surprised but not like taken aback.
Okay.
He's surprised but not shocked.
There we go.
Okay. As she gauges your reaction for a moment, her eyes sort of like narrow at you, and she says, "It's been quite a long time then since I've seen one of my own around here."
One of your own. What do you mean exactly?
There's no need to act dumb. You're not exactly Well, I can tell that you're still new to the world.
I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. You can, at this point, Valan is still, pretty stone-faced. And he's trying to stay guarded because he genuinely doesn't want anybody to know. And so he's really trying to gauge if she actually knows or if she just, highly suspects or something.
Okay. As she, gauges your reaction further, she goes on and she says, I can see that you're trying to keep a calm demeanor. But I know underneath that calm demeanor, the storm that's dwelling within your mind. Truly. You're wondering, then, how I must have put this together, right? Well, to be honest with you, it's more so just a hunch. I could be completely wrong. Maybe I'm taking a stupid risk by doing this, but I find it a bit too convenient that the prisoner that you were interrogating just happens to wake up and escape without anyone else noticing. At the same time, one of these creatures appears in the middle of the town. The others don't know about us. But I do find that to be quite the convenient thing. Truly.
I guess so. But once again, he could teleport away. He was just under a spell at the time. But assuming I was one, why would you... What's this about exactly? Why would you be exposing yourself?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm just tired of hiding. Can't you say the same?
I feel like most people can. Very few people feel like they're leading the life they're supposed to.
Indeed. It's why I came out here. To live in this frozen hell. To where at least I have much less to worry about. She says to you, there's no need to hide anymore. It's just you and me in here now. And she says for a moment, after a pause, and your friend, of course.
At that last one, Valan smiles and says, well, even if that's the case, I prefer to keep the mask on, if it's all the same to you.
She smiles back at you. Very well, then. If that's truly what you desire. You should be careful going over to the other side. And I'm sure that you may have a hunch by now, but don't trust Farfel.
Yes, of course I don't, but what's this careful, going to the other side?
Well,
Should be just a jump, right?
certainly. But I'm sure you must know by now things are never quite that simple. Your last plan, or I should say the group's last plan, didn't exactly go as you had anticipated, right?
True.
All I'm really saying is that I would like to see you be careful. I'd hate to see one of my own perish. There's so few of us in the world, after all.
At that, Valan nods, in agreement, and then says, what exactly brings you out here? Our people tend to be very social, to say the least. It's odd that I'm alone, much less two of us who are traveling alone.
As I said, I grew tired of hiding. Certainly I was among people, but what use is it to be among people when you can't even truly be among them? when you constantly have to be someone else just to ensure your survival. It's better to be alone, I think. At least then you have yourself.
True. But I also think that, given the fact that you are going to be alone anyway, you might as well make the most of it. I mean, you are born alone and you will die alone, but what you do in the middle could at least be interesting. You're going to get your loneliness anyway.
I've done much over my time. Perhaps when we have a bit more spare time, you and I might be able to discuss such things. I feel that I could impart much wisdom to you, if you'd be willing to listen.
If we get the chance after this, I'd love to talk more.
Certainly. You can approach me anytime. That was all that I wanted to speak with you about.
Alright, I'm going to... I know it's kind of late in the game here, but I'm going to try to use the sense desire thing.
On her? Okay. She will roll against you.
Naturally. I'm gonna use the +3 shadow magic from my hitchhiker.
Oh, whenever you use shadow magic, that's always active. Like,
Oh.
that's just a passive thing.
Oh, gotcha. Did not know.
But it's only for that one type of magic.
Gotcha.
Whew. Whew.
Dang,
Okay.
I knew I should have put that extra on there.
As you try to probe into her mind, you're met with a fierce sort of pushback. So much so that it actually like causes you to have like a sort of like headache for a moment as the whole world sort of just like zooms in and then quickly like back out. And you're sort of like taken aback by this resistance. And she says, "Though you are one of my own, I would imagine that you have some, well, how do they say, manners."
Well, not trying to be rude. It's just we're all in a life or death situation. Wanted to make sure you were genuine is all.
If I had any intentions of doing you harm, why then would I have revealed myself to you?
Well, without reading your mind, it's hard to know your reasoning.
Fair enough. Distrust is an effective shield, after all.
Unfortunately, the way of our people.
Unfortunately. She walks past you to go outside. As she does so, before she actually exits, she lifts her hood back up.
Alright. I just also follow out.
Okay. The other people that are going with you, that being Farfel, Medley, and Chorus, are waiting for you at the edge of the town. As you approach, unless there was something else you wanted to do before leaving, as you approach, Chorus, he says to you, so how far is it to our location then? Valan, you're muted, brother. There you go.
Oh, sorry. I tell him to look within himself and find the answers. This thing is how I like, you know.
That's right. I forgot that you conveyed the information to him. That's right. You're right. Okay, so nix that. He doesn't ask that question. It's going to be like, I'd say at least a day's journey there. So you're probably going to have to rest at some point before you get there. Probably a good thing to rest.
Alright.
Farfel asks you, so for this mission then, are you looking to stay on this side for most of the journey, or do you wish to go over to the other side?
Is he talking to me?
Yes.
I must go to the other side. I have to go all the way, actually, so that I can send the portal back to get everybody else. Unless somebody else wants to head that operation.
Fair enough, then. Alright. In that case, everyone gather together close, and I'll cast the spell. And as he says that, Chorus and Medley step closer, and then Farfel, he reaches out with both of his hands and like grabs their shoulders. He looks over to you. Whenever you're ready, then. You're muted, by the way.
Ready. Yeah.
Okay. You,
Wait, who's going again? Or,
okay.
wait, just so I make sure I have this plan together. Which party is the party going with the ether to the place initially? And then who's part of the overland group from B to C?
Okay. So, you, Farfel, Medley, and Chorus are journeying through the ether together towards the other Orcan village. So that's Group A,
Okay.
your group. Everybody else is sticking behind to, do their thing and basically get ready. They're waiting for the portal to appear, basically.
Gotcha. Let's see. I would, I guess before we go, I'm gonna ask if we could, switch out, Farfel for Gemini. That is the other.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wasn't it? I think I made that mistake. Wasn't it Gemini that wanted to go anyway, and then Farfel was going to stay behind?
It was the other way initially, but we decided otherwise. Or at
That's
least
right.
on
Okay.
when did you
voiced
decide
his-
otherwise?
Well, you at least voiced your opinion.
Oh, gotcha.
That's
nobody-
right. I may have made a mistake there because I think Gemini.
no problem.
I think Gemini did agree to actually swap places with Farfel, if I recall correctly. Gemini. So
Think
you're actually the
Yes,
one who's
I did-
going with
I
him.
did agree. Right.
That was my bad.
No problem. So I guess we just made that last minute remembrance, and I tell Farfel, actually, do you mind if I guess to slightly retcon the last conversation? Do you
Yeah,
mind
let's
if,
just pretend that
Gemini
conversation. Let's just pretend that
Didn't
conversation didn't happen. That was
Okay.
completely my bad.
No problem.
So Gemini was
I'm gonna
actually
say,
the one there.
Oh, okay, got you. In that case, Gemini, you ready?
Yes, let us go on.
Okay. And with that in mind, you do have the amulet. You think perhaps Gemini might be able to make some use out of that, to cast the spell, potentially, make it easier.
Yeah, it might have some type of navigational aspect or something. I'm not sure exactly. I couldn't get much from the memory since I'm not really that type of magic user.
Okay. I will give it a shot.
Okay. You take the amulet in hand, and as you grab it, it sort of reacts to your touch, Gemini, and it begins to glow this sort of like bluish tint as well, like the engravings on it do.
Okay, perfect.
All right. You clasp it in your hands as you grab a hold of your allies, and you cast the spell using the amulet and so you don't even have to use any of your mana for this.
Okay.
And suddenly, you find yourself in a place that is very similar to Farso, but it's also like sort of like uncanny in a way. Like it's there's this sort of
down.
kind of but in a different way. There's this sort of wind made of mana that's just blowing through the entire area. If you were to look up, you would see like these like colored streams of mana just sort of going through the sky in all sorts of different various directions. And looking towards the mountain that you saw in the distance in the other world, in the physical world, you see this blue stream of light, like just going down towards the mountain. And it sort of has like a vortexy like looking cloud up above as well.
Super interesting. Can we absorb the mana?
If you were to meditate for a while, yes, probably.
Interesting.
But you would have to spend some time doing that. I would say you would recover your mana faster here.
Interesting.
Okay.
But we do not have. Okay, so I'm here. The rest of the party that I pulled in with me is here as well.
Yes. That being Medley and Chorus and Valan. Those are the people who are with you.
Okay. So now the objective is for us to get to over there.
That is correct. You have to make the journey to the village. Probably stop
Is it
a little bit
colder
short.
here?
Gotcha. I actually just remembered something. If I could just say something real quick. I was gonna tell the rest of them to, I guess, me or Gemini or somebody would tell them to start preparing the Terran for the invasion, since
Yeah, I just assumed like they were in on the plan, like they were there
Gotcha.
listening, pretty much.
All right, making sure.
So yeah, they're getting the oil barrels ready and just like resting up pretty much at this point.
Excellent.
Okay. With that out of the way, rather. What am I talking about? As far as your question, Gemini, it is still fairly cold over here. Yes.
Ooh. It's nippy over here, guys.
Yeah, it's still pretty cold, but it's not like it was over there exactly. There's no there's a wind, but it's not like a. There's no wind chill, pretty much. That's what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
Are you watching one of your videos in the background?
No, I wouldn't do that.
That was beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
What's going on, guys? Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and let's march.
Okay. You begin your long march. It's going to take you about a day and a few hours to get there. So you have a bit of a journey ahead of you. And as you are making this journey...
I'm like eyeing Medley as we start to get hungry.
That is not a whale, sir. Medley is a flug.
I'm gonna eat this chicken.
I like how Gemini doesn't even consider Chorus as part of the meal. Because Chorus has proven his worth.
Yeah. Corbin has proven his worth by using Mr. Puppet to help fly. Yes.
Oh
me
my
and
goodness.
Corvus are friends.
Chorus.
That's what I meant. I don't even say their names right. I'm the captain of a ship. You think I know everybody?
The names just sort
Speaking
of
the ship, how's
blend
my ship
together.
doing?
It's still going.
Still going.
Yeah. I mean, that's about as much as you can tell.
No
It's-
secrets. I didn't hear any secrets.
You didn't hear any secrets, but I will tell you something you did hear, since your eye is in that room where the captain's cabin is.
Okay. What I hear?
Yeah, I sent it to
the
you.
message.
That's
Gotta
what
tell
you
a
hear.
secret.
God damn it.
Stop speaking. Use nothing.
I have an announcement to make to the party.
Oh my
That's
god.
with me
We're
right
all
now.
gonna die.
I'm gonna be an uncle.
Oh my god.
In game.
You say that to the
How do
party
you know
with
that?
you?
How do I know that? Do you think a pirate and his ship could ever separate?
Milan starts to think about what exactly he's implying by them being inseparable.
My ship and I are one.
That didn't
Hello,
help.
ship.
I can feel the waves beneath my feet. Sail.
Well, yeah, congratulations, however you got the message.
I felt it in my stern.
In your loins.
I felt it. The winds of change.
Oh my god.
Another Godwin is being born.
Oh.
Milan, you have to help me get my nephew, and I have to sacrifice it.
Oh my god. Okay.
Alright, we're gonna go ahead and keep marching.
Yes. Anyways, you're gonna keep marching. So,
Milan doesn't know if I was joking or not.
he's just all of a sudden, Gemini is just like, ah, man, I'm gonna be an uncle. Out of nowhere.
Oh man, I have to sacrifice a child again. God damn it. Not again.
Again?
Not this
Again? Okay. Anyways,
Wait, what
you-
happened to the first one?
I
You're like,
use it as
one.
bait to catch a shark that I ate.
Okay, continuing on. You march through this place, and all of you notice like a change, almost abruptly so. As you get further and further away from the town, you notice that there are starting to be people around you. Orkin, in fact. At first, you probably like, what the hell? You kind of like freaked out. But you notice, like, as they like notice you, they don't really, it's like they don't even register your presence. They just sort of like ignore you and they continue like walking. They seem to be walking towards the mountain that you see in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of them.
Yo, this is some freaky shit, man. Like, can they see us or can they not see us? I'm not sure.
I do not know. My clan, my flock, they spoke of what happens after we die. But this is nothing like what they say.
Corvus, you should fly up there and get a better look.
It's,
Good idea.
It's far too cold. My wings would be frozen.
We all gotta sacrifice for the team sometimes.
And just think, if you freeze to death, we all get a meal.
And also, if you don't freeze to death, we have a better idea of what the geography ahead looks like. Maybe there's a cave we could stop at and start a fire.
Couldn't Corvus use air magic to make himself warmer by like changing the air density around him?
You know, I'm not sure. I'm gonna lean with no, but I don't know.
I don't know if changing the density would change the temperature. It would probably change the ability for them to hold the temperature close. Like, they might be able to make an air bubble around themselves to keep the heat in or something. I
Yeah,
don't know, spitballing.
that might work, but no. With his forms of magic, he doesn't really have a way to do that.
Corvus, I thought penguins could survive in cold weather. What's wrong with you?
Actually, I'd like to see. Alright, so does anybody remember in the last Airbender when Zuko was stuck in the chest and he had to do the fire breathing thing?
Yeah, where he used his firebending to like keep himself warm, right?
Yeah. Could I use my air magic to capture like the warm air I'm breathing out to warm the air that I then breathe in?
You could potentially do that, but in order for that to like warm you up, it would take some time.
Gotcha.
What if I just popped up made some oil, and then sparked it?
You would make a fire.
How dark is it here?
It's actually more lit than it is on the other side. The mana in the area
Okay, so
is
fire.
the mana in the air and all that is like glowing, and it's way more. It's not like daylight, but it's way brighter than it is on the other side. That's for sure.
I don't think a fire is gonna be able to like give our position away because of how bright it is with the cold and the snow and whatnot. What if I just made a fire and like let Chorus hold it
He couldn't hold it while flying.
with his feet?
I mean, he could do that. Yeah, he can hold it with his feet.
See? Yeah.
I mean, already. I'm not there.
Look at that.
I mean, depending on how much how big of a fire we make, I could try to use my air magic to, I guess, focus that heated
Wait
air
a minute.
upwards onto them.
I'm not
Yep.
worried about freezing. My body obviously a bird is gonna have a less dense body than a you know a
Like the
Pandoran.
rest of us. Yeah.
So why don't you just use your air magic to like pop me up in the air, and then throw an air pillow down, and I land back on it?
Easy said. A little bit harder to do. Gonna be honest with you, the air pillow idea. It
Chorus has
works,
air magic
but,
too.
We all
yeah.
have air magic.
Oh,
There you go. A whole bunch of y'all can do it. Just pop my ass up, now, whoo, fly up there.
all right.
Or we can use Mr. Puppet.
That makes more sense.
Cool. All right, Mr. Puppet, you ready? All right, guys. Toss him up
Guess
there.
who's up again? All right. Let's blast him the fuck up there, cause he doesn't need air.
This
And
is
if
so-
he freezes, he'll be fine.
Okay, so you guys are going to collectively, you, Medley, and Chorus are going to collectively cast the spell together to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, Valan, you're going to get +2 for both of them helping you to cast the spell.
All right.
Nope, it's up.
Do I have to be the person to roll?
Yes.
All right. GG, guys.
Mr. Puppet shatters to 100.
You all collectively like fuck the spell up, and you just like shatter him into pieces.
Just, yeah. Oh, is it one roll for the whole action, or is the throwing and the catching going to be separate things?
They're going to be separate.
All right. Well, we can only fail so much at putting them in there.
Okay, it's also going to be a difficulty. I'm going to say a difficulty. It's not going to be that much. I'm going to say a 10. Yeah.
All right. Shoot, a 10. That's
It's easy, right?
yeah. Theoretically speaking, somehow I'm gonna roll a negative number though.
Don't critically fail.
Theoretically.
Don't critically fail.
I mean, dude, I just gotta roll like literally not 2 1s. In fact, never mind. I'm just gonna put
10
one
into
into it.
There we go.
Fail.
There you
There-
go. Okay, so the three of you work together and you channel mana underneath Mr. Puppet, and you just push him into the air all of a sudden. What you see, like as you're like flying through the air, Gemini. Here's what I'm gonna need you to do.
Oh, actually, it's Mr. Puppet.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're right. It's Mr. Puppet.
No problem.
Yep. Anyways, Mr. Puppet is gonna have to make a perception roll. Use your perception twice, and because he is flying through the air and probably spiraling out of control, I'm gonna have him take a -2 to the roll.
Phew. Wait, can I add stuff?
No.
Can we get a sound effect?
You said -2?
-2, correct. Yeah, he's probably just like, whoa, as he's falling through the air.
13.
13. Okay, you try to concentrate. And Mr. Puppet looks around, and you think in the distance you can see a forest of some sort.
A forest?
Yes.
Is that your Mr. Puppet voice, or?
A forest?
There we go.
There you go.
Forrest Gump.
Is he just like yelling that as he's like twirling towards the earth?
I see a forest!
Okay, now Valan, now you guys are gonna have to catch him.
Alright, Gemini, quick question. How durable is he and repairable?
Well, don't kill my friend. That's all I'm gonna say.
So he can die.
Absolutely.
Alright, that's unfortunate. We'll do our best.
That's gonna be hilarious if this fails.
And it's gone.
Alright, so what's the
Okay,
what is
to
it
make
for?
to make an air pillow, it's gonna be a difficulty. I'm gonna say the same as before, a 10. Don't forget about the mount
theoretically.
cost. And if you're having both of them help you, that's another +2.
There we go.
Okay, so the three of you are like running around trying to like catch him. Like you find where you think he's gonna fall, and you make a cushion of air, and he sort of like bounces off of the cushion and like lands in the ground, and then like gets himself up and like brushes the snow off.
Good job, my friend. High five.
Soar like an eagle.
You did. R. Kelly would be proud. Alright, tell me what's going on.
Okay, so
He said he's seeing a forest. What else?
between you like twirling around in the air, not a whole lot. You just think you saw a forest ahead.
Alright, let's put him up again. Hopefully
I say
he
we
gets
put a
little
helmet on him, we do it again. Alright, we're gonna march to where he's seeing the forest.
You know, I'd just like to point out, and I'll say that this perhaps like, here's what I'm gonna say. Medley like speaks up and she says, I apologize for not thinking of this earlier, but perhaps we could just lift him into the air instead of launching him.
You had that idea the entire time.
And
It just crossed my mind. I apologize.
A master of the arcane arts. A teacher and professor at the School of Arcana.
She just goes quiet for a second.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep walking. Mr. Puppet's pissed. That was Mr. Puppet saying that, by the way. Not different. He is not happy.
risk my life.
Well, to be
And you could've-
fair, Jim and I did make a mistake like that earlier. He threw the elf at the window instead of the puppet.
Well,
Gemini has no words.
Gemini has no words.
Okay.
He wanted to see an elk fly.
Okay. Anyways, you continue onward for several more hours. It's quite a walk through the snow, and the only thing to keep your company besides your teammates are these like ghosts or spirits or whatever they are that are walking towards this mountain.
Their spirit? Can we see them? Like, what do they look like?
They're Orcan. They're Orcan
Oh.
spirits. They're walking
Alright.
towards the mountain in the distance that you saw.
Can we talk to them?
You might be able to. You haven't tried. Nobody has tried.
I'm gonna try to communicate.
All right, you catch one as they're walking. They're walking towards you currently. What do you say?
Hello.
It looks towards you with a sort of like look of surprise. Who are you? You're not
I'm
from here.
not. My name is Captain Gemini.
You're an outsider in our lands.
That is correct. Who are you? What clan ye hail?
I do not remember. It's been so long.
Where are we?
This is Farso. Our home.
Interesting. Where are you headed?
To the ocean. The first ocean.
Is that where all of you go?
It's where we all venture once we perish.
Does any of the Orkans in our party recognize this thing?
None of the Orkans that are in your party are with you currently.
I knew that. Anyway, let's go ahead and say okay, and I'm gonna keep walking.
Good luck, ye traveler, or something. He waves.
As you wave, he continues onward, wordlessly.
I'm
And
gonna try to touch it.
as you try to touch it, you touch him, and it feels like he's solid.
Oh,
He looks towards you for a moment, and then away, and continues onward.
I'm gonna whisper to the party. If we can touch them, they can help us. But traveler.
He turns back towards you. Yes?
Are you being plagued in this land? This seems to be the realm of the dead.
This is a realm of many things. Not just the dead, but of all of the beings of mana.
What do you know of the White Fin clan?
White Fang?
That's
No,
what I-
actually, you know what? You said White Fin, so here's what he's gonna say. I do not know of a White Fin clan.
What of a White Fang clan?
As you mentioned that name, he seems to grow angry. The White Fang? He raises his voice at you. You mean those heretics? The ones that eat us? That eat the souls of their ancestors? Of our ancestors?
Yes, use your anger.
Wow.
Yeah, could you tell us where they're doing that, and also
We're going to kill them.
how? Yeah, we're doing that also.
You are going towards your deaths. Not just your death, but your oblivion.
I have an army of 2,000.
We're currently in the land of the dead, so I don't see it getting much worse, to be honest.
It can always be worse. There are fates worse than death, I assure you.
Could you kill a White Fang?
If you could find one,
Could you kill a White Fang?
maybe. I'd rather not face them, though.
If we face them all together, you and my 2,000 army, we should be able to destroy them.
So you call them heretics, say they're eating you and your ancestors, but then when it's time to act and do something about it, you let death get in the way, even though you're already dead.
As I said, there are fates worse than death. And if
Your
you
kin-
meet the White Fang in battle, then you will likely face that fate.
You would allow them to live and devour your children's children? children?
It's not for the
Children?
dead. It's not for the dead to intervene in the fate of the living.
It is when the living are in the realm of the dead. Which they are, by the
You're-
way.
What do you mean?
That's where we're marching, to their land. They can phase in and out of existence. I'm assuming they're using that to fade in and out of this realm. By this amulet.
As you raise the amulet up to show him, he eyes it and he says, "That's a symbol of Termina." You're telling me that the White Fang are using that to come to this place?
Yes, they live here and attack in the real world.
I see.
If
If
you help
they-
us drive them out of your land,
If
you
they
will have
are,
freedom.
if they are here, as you say, then it is completely within our domain to help you. This is partially our land.
Excellent. If you help us defeat them, then your ancestors will live in harmony once again on the surface of Tasp.
I see. Do you know where they are?
We know the direction. Through the forest, that away.
You intend to go through the forest?
I didn't see another option. Do you have any better ideas?
No. If you need to go through there, though, it will be perilous.
Is there a way around?
It would take you a significant amount of time to go around them.
Can I count on you on the field of battle?
If what you say is true, then yes, I will lend you my aid.
How many others can you bring?
As many as you can convince.
Will you assist in convincing?
I will tell them what you have told me.
Excellent. Well, thank you, my friend. I will see you when the day comes.
Indeed.
What awaits us in the forest?
He looks to you for a moment. Dark creatures. Not like us. Far worse than the dead.
Like demons?
I suppose that is a word for them. Yes.
Where's Torgwin when we needed him? Okay. Thank you, my friend. I will see you on the field of battle.
He turns away from you. You continue onward?
Yes.
Okay.
And any spirit that I see, I just go ahead and start talking.
Okay.
As I hope the rest of the party does too.
Alright, so you guys are like walking and talking as you're going towards this forest then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. In that case, I think that while we're doing that, we're gonna go ahead and stop the session here, and then we will pick up next session with you guys getting to the forest and going through it. I gotta think about what the other party is gonna be doing during this time, though. You know, like really, goodness.
Yeah, sitting and waiting, basically.
Ah, yes, the sitting and waiting simulator.
Preparing the weapons.
Yep, twiddling their thumbs.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.